Good morning, YouTube. Welcome into building another monster for you. If you don't remember, we built Landmark's last PC right here. That would feature the 1200K and an RTX 38 Ti. And we're stepping it up quite a bit here. We're going to a 1400K and RTX 4090. Not just that, we're putting on the beautiful MAXIMUS Apex Encore board, which is going to have two DIMMs to take care of that 8200 megahertz of RAM that we're throwing in here. We're going to dial that all in with a 1400K, that RTX 4090, a 2 terabyte Samsung 990 drive, and we're putting in the Lian Li Lancool 216. It's going to be all blacked out. We've got that beautiful Trinity 2 performance cooler in there to keep it nice and cool because that 1400K gets pretty toasty. And then we're powering it with the SeaSonic VERTEX ATX 3.0 Platinum power supply. It's 1200 watts. Let us know what you think down below in the comments. How many frames you can expect to see Tony getting on streets. This is going to be absolutely one of the top tier systems when it comes to FPS and games like Escape from Tarkov, even Arena, things like that. Make sure to that like button. Make sure to the subscribe button as well because we have about 90% of the viewers who tune in to watch our videos over here on YouTube aren't subscribed. Want to check out more beautiful builds like this? Well, live while we do them. You can join us any Monday, Wednesday, or Friday over to Twitch channel at twitch.tv/stints at 10 a.m. Eastern, and we hope to see you soon. Look at these parts, Chad. Sheesh. There they are. Let me get mic'd up. I'll see you there in a second.
All these fancy parts, but you know, BSU will make the streets unplayable on it. I think we'll be all right. I think we'll do pretty darn good. So we're not doing a super fancy build. I was talking to Tony, he was like, Stens, he's like, just give me blacked out and frames. Why? He's an Intel fan. He's always been an Intel fan. Like, he plays at actually higher quality settings because there's a lot of obviously YouTube and content. So he's playing at a higher settings, 1440, and Intel is doing a little bit better in the higher fidelity. So if you're going higher settings, like maximum, like ultra, stuff like that, Intel CPUs paired with NVIDIA are a little bit better than Ryzen. If you're going for ultimate FPS, the 700X3D at lower settings for 1440p does a little bit better. So, but Tony's playing a little bit higher. So the crazy part about today's system is if you're looking at it versus like an AMD, this will do better than most 700X3D builds at higher settings, especially the fact that we're using the 8200 megahertz class leading RAM today. This is the highest first world latency for any high-end speed RAM. Like this RAM is meant for like serious overclocking and literally, like we're gonna mess with the RAM and get it dialed in like to a T for Tony. So, to a T for Tony, get it? So everything off the top here, we're going with the Asus TUF OC. This is the overclocked 4090 from Asus. Either this or the Strix are honestly the two best cards from Asus. The Strix cards being super expensive, and we're already talking about like a very expensive motherboard, expensive CPU, expensive RAM. Oh my God, this board is gorgeous, chat. This board is absolutely stunning. This is the Apex Encore. It's also a very, very heavy board. There it is. They come with a memory fan kit. If you really want to overclock that RAM, that's wild. I did not know it came with that. Get your riser, in case you want to add any more M.2 NVMEs. It's a PCIe, actually it's just a PCIe M.2 expansion kit. Crazy. I mean, we're talking, it's in the 5K, almost 5K range. Yeah, it's a 2-DIMM board. 2-DIMM board, and this DIMM.2 is actually meant for like SSDs and things like that. It's actually not meant necessarily for RAM. It's a proprietary thing that Asus has worked on. It looks more expensive, yeah. It's the fact that we don't have a ton of RGB. So he's like, I don't need a ton of RGB. So we want the really subtle but really good looking case in the 216 with blacked out front fans, top mount 360 in it. It just really, it looks good. It gets good airflow. So we went with just good quality stuff. So our 1400K out. Our goal is to get it to him by this weekend so he can get it dialed in because we think wipes coming soon. Obviously, like the pre-wipe events that are going on Tarkov right now. So, socket looks good. Let's get this 1400K down and in. All right, got our M.2. So we're going with the fantastic 990. Get the drive open. I'm on a NOS myself, so I like a Synology better. I'm on Synology products. Oh, true NOS. Yeah, I'm on a NOS myself. Like I literally, I'm on a Synology. This is the primary slot dedicated for the NVMe drive. 1700 standoffs. All right. Inside for now, let's get our RAM. It's our Viper Xtreme 5. 8200 megahertz RAM, nothing crazy, just really high speed DIMMs, no RGB, because the RGB is going to add to the heat. We avoided that today on this. Shop camera and hydrate. Give me a second shot. I got this all done here. Apex Encore board today. 1400K down the socket, or standoffs for the GA Trinity Performance AIO from Lian Li in there as well. A 2TB 990 Pro, and then 8200 megahertz of the Xtreme 5 Viper RAM, which is 8200 megahertz, Chad. Holy crap. Side to the side, hit the case out. And the case today is the beautiful 216. Nothing crazy. Just a good airflow focused case that's blacked out. Tony's like, I don't need anything crazy, just enough to hold it. It's a great little case. I mean, it's not nothing like crazy. It's just built right, good airflow. Actually, one of the best airflow cases in my opinion. It's really good at big airflow without being crazy. Pushes a lot of air rate in the case. It's really nice. I think it's one of the most underrated cases in the market. One of the best in this space for what we're doing today. Usually more premium cases, but for just price, performance, and airflow, this is just really, really good. All right, guys, we're gonna go top down. All right, we're gonna go above, chat, and look down to put the motherboard in. All right, there it is, chat. Well, the reason why this one's really good is it only has 2 DIMMs. 2 DIMM boards are just, it's always been crazy how they run so much better on the IMC. It's less stressful with the 2 DIMMs. So there's better communication between literally the memory controller and the RAM itself. It's really crazy how they work. The lanes, the dedicated lanes, 2 lanes running there. There's been last screw going in here, then one more on the bottom right, then we are on to working on the cables. Is this top of line build? Yeah, the only thing that would be anything that's maybe the only thing slightly better would be a Strix card, which is like, I mean, you're not gonna really notice a ton of performance, especially in what we're doing. You might be like 1-2 frames max, but we can overclock it in Afterburner to get the same kind of effect. Yeah, RAM's really clean. It just got red on it, the red accent. So people like red, you're gonna love this RAM. Really, like I said, we went with it because it's no RGB and it's like the fastest first word latency. So it's just really, really snappy stuff. You can dial it in, get this custom timing sent, and then we'll do some RAM testing. All right. There we go, so Type-C, or sorry, USB 3. All right, so Velcro these out of the way for now, and then we're gonna work on power supply next. The rear fan coming down. Okay, we have a 1200 watt SeaSonic Platinum, so plenty of juice for what we're throwing at the system. Obviously, the amount of watts that a 1400K pulls can pretty darn close to 300 watts, which is crazy. This is the class-leading power supply from the SeaSonic VERTEX. Literally the best power supply in this space. ATX 3.0 Platinum, you want SeaSonic, because they are the OEM. Or you can get something like what Asus is doing. They're just rebranding a SeaSonic. I'm pretty sure that's their OE. You need a small SATA cable. There we go. There's one. All these can go back in the bag. Our PCIe will need a PCIe. It's going to actually be a secondary power cable right here for the lanes. We have our 24-pin main motherboard. We have our 12-volt high power. We have CPU 1 and CPU 2. And then we have other PCIe here as well, which can go back in here. We don't need those. Those go back in here. And then along with our power cable and a power supply tester. There we go. That'll go in the motherboard box. Beautiful VERTEX. All the juice. 10-year warranty. The best components in the VERTEX. It's real nice. There we go, all in there. Let's plug everything in here and slide it in. Additional PCIe power there. Look at that blacked out P28 fans on this thing. Oh, they're so slick. Oh, so there's SATA. I figured it would be SATA. There's SATA, and there is USB, and there is a PWM pump. That's what we have there. All right, so let's get ready to get this on, chat. We're gonna work on getting the cooler, the pump mounted. Okay. All right, so before we get started, we have to mount this. This is gonna go up next. So for this one, we have to get our thermal paste on. There is no pre-applied. There we go, let's go top. Get ready to mount this pump. Go top and get this pump mounted, chat. Huge copper plate for the heat, which is nice. I'm gonna quickly tap these screws with electric, low torque. Pump ball is nice and secure, nice looking pump. Like the Lian Li pump's really clean. Let's leave that on for now. We can actually do different faces. You can do mirror, they have all these different caps they give you. Mirror, glow, big RGB, which Tony's not gonna want. So we just have the light mirror that we have in there right now, so up and over with CPU. And before we put this in, we're going to run the CPU line, which is easier for us. Run these cables, pass them through. There's that. There's also our little, actually this little adapter, so if you want to adjust the fans, if you want it in silent or if you want a high performance, if you're doing some serious overclocking, we can do that. We have that here in the back. The fans have a built-in controller, which is really nice. Feeding us all through and over the top. Up and in we go with rad. This behemoth cable, there we go, there we go. All right, up and in we go. Got a couple screws in this to hold it in place. We have SATA, we didn't need SATA, which is good. I'm glad we ran that. No distinct have to run SATA later, but we got it right here already plugged in. Got to find a SATA cable. Where do we put that bad boy? There it is. All right, SATA plugged in. We have to run our USB, which actually just in case you want to run Lian Li's software for the AIO, you can. And then we have to just run the rest of the cables before we get to the 4090 out. A couple more cables to manage. Grab this 4090. Tough, always a great card. We have the Tough Gaming Overclocked Edition, says the OC. I think it's within a couple, maybe like 20 or 30 megahertz. Look at that monster 4090 for Tony. Slot covers out. And we go with the 4090 from Asus, the Tough OC. Here we go, 3, 2, 1. There we are. Well seated. There we go. All in. You get a nice little support right here. I'll recommend Tony get a small one just to hold it right there. We go check, and we go with the power. All done there. Looking good. There's the juicer. It is a beast. You guys ready to boot this bad boy up? I gotta ask him if he wants Windows 11 or I think he wants Windows 10 Pro. I think so. I gotta ask him. I think we put him on 10 Pro last time. I gotta ask Tony. That's Tony. Back pedal on. Easy peasy. Lemon squeezy. Let's go. Let's boot this bad boy up. It's gonna be blacked out. You're gonna have a little bit of RGB on the Lian Li cooler. That's about it in the card and the motherboard. Everything else is gonna be blacked out.
Guys, thanks for coming in and liking another video here on YouTube. Make sure to hit that like button, help us with the algorithm. Make sure people find us and see all the beautiful PCs we build. If you haven't subscribed already, hit that subscribe button as well. Remember, we build these systems live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday over on our Twitch channel at twitch.tv/stints. Come over, hang out, chat it up with us, and watch us build beautiful PCs for everybody in the community. And remember, let's go.